Hello, everybody, and welcome to an album a day, day 161. I'm so excited about this one that I'm recording this before I even go to bed. Just did my podcast announcement. Check out John Matola, my guest on Deep Purple Smoke on the podcast today, as we covered the bonus track from Fireball, I'm Alone. Speaking of John Matola, he and I covered this album on my podcast, the Haskincast podcast, and it inspired him to go out and buy the vinyl. And when I was thinking about getting vinyl again myself, aside from the collection that from Deep Purple that I had that I wanted to get, this was the very next album I put on my list of must-haves for vinyl. And I'm so excited because while this came out in 1983, this is an original 1983 copy. Only album that Ian Gillan did with this band. I'm talking about Black Sabbath, Born Again. Hideous cover, right? Like horrible, absolutely just hideous cover. But I do like the font. I think that's pretty good. And aside from the hideous cover, there is a lot of controversy about the sound of this album. Now, I will say, as someone who's an audio engineer, it's mixed terribly. I shouldn't say mixed terribly. I should say EQ'd terribly. The balance of things is actually not too bad, but the drums, as Nate pointed out, I think it was on when they reviewed it on the Deep Purple podcast, is basically like somebody shaking a silverware drawer, and he's not wrong. But I've become accustomed to it. It was something that I just kind of accepted. Here's how the album sounds, so that's just what you go with. But like I said, this is an original Warner Brothers copy, which I'm very excited about. I've listened to it. It sounds absolutely fantastic. John also was very adamant about getting an original copy, and he did as well. So there's the horrible front of the album. The back of the album has a picture of each of the guys. Pretty cool. Track list. I love the black, red, yellow color combination. That's awesome. But we have a special insert. We have this right here, and on the back, these lyrics, handwritten not on this paper, but originally handwritten by Ian Gillan in this wonderfully interesting font. I don't know how much patience that took, or if he's just very good with a fountain pen, but in any case, yeah, he did a great job on that. Absolutely love that. So there is that. Now let's talk about the music. Every track from start to finish on this album is just a keeper for me. Talk about a desert island album. I mean, right here, this is just tops for me. So we open with Trashed, which is a story about, they recorded this at Richard Branson's house, the Richard Branson. And he had a go-kart track or something, and they took some cars out and got a little drunk, and Ian ended up in the water. Fortunately, he's okay. No spoiler alert there. This happened in 1983. Next, we get Stonehenge, which is an incredibly cool instrumental. Then we get, in fact, Stonehenge reminds me, there was a video game in the early days of Laserdisc. Like, I think it was before Dragon's Lair. It might have been around the time of Dragon's Lair, but it was called Interstellar. It was a sit-down machine. It was one that you actually sat inside of, and it played music that was so cool. You could hear it on YouTube, but Stonehenge always reminds me of that game. Then we get the killer track, Disturbing the Priest. Just explodes right out and then mellows out, but just carries a great groove to it, and one of the greatest riffs I've ever heard. And so heavy sounding. Tony Iommi's guitar sound on this is really good. Then we get The Dark, which is an instrumental, and then Zero the Hero. Killer track. We're not even done yet, and we've got 5 killer tracks on this album, but we've got 4 more tracks to go. Flip over to side B. We open with Digital Bitch. I can't remember if I knew who this was about at one time or not, but again, great groove, really powerful song. And then one of my favorite tracks, the title track, Born Again. Killer vocal from Ian. Amazing atmosphere on this song. This reminds me so much of my youth in Michigan. I can't even tell you every time I hear it. In fact, when I went back to Michigan, I got to my hotel, and the first thing I did was I pulled up my iPod and I started playing this song because it's just brings me back right there to my childhood. But my favorite song on this album is actually Hotline. Killer vocals. Back when I could sing, every great once in a while, I could sing this one okay. It's a lot of high level vocals, I will say. And then we end with Keep It Warm, which I really love this song. Again, great feel, great ending for the album. Just spectacular from start to finish. You just can't do wrong with this album. Say what you will about the sound, it is not as bad as And Justice for All. It's not even close. This to me is very tolerable listening, whereas I still, as I said on the And Justice for All episode, there's still some issues there. But yeah, just a killer album. Now the word is, and we know that they've found the masters to this album, and as Tony Iommi has been going back and reissuing these albums, he's been doing these amazing deluxe editions with all kinds of bonus stuff in it, and the word is Born Again is the next one. Now I went to his website and it's horribly run. I mean, there's very few updates. It's just not kept up. And I was not able to find out anything else. Everything else I found would lead to the remastered edition from, was it 93 or 95 or something like that, which had the bonus track on it. But yeah, I can't find any definitive date or anything, but I have heard from Tony's mouth himself in an interview that they've got the masters and Born Again is next. So keep your fingers crossed, guys, that we'll get a really solid mix on this one, and we'll just see how it sounds. But either way, the music is kick-ass. So check it out, guys. Black Sabbath, Born Again. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.